Now it is recording. Can you believe it? Okay. Okay. Hi, Sundeep. How are you?
Very well, thank
How
you.
does it feel being in Dubai?
Dubai is fantastic. Design One is great.
Okay. And tell us about your collection that you have brought here.
The show is going very well. The collection's Asal by Abu Sundeep. That's a brand that we launched with Design One about 3 years ago. It's all handcrafted, and it's got great embroideries, and it's also a more affordable price.
And by affordable, Dubai is supposed to splurge, isn't it?
Yeah, Dubai is a
Or
luxury.
is the economic situation such that you had to bring it down?
No such thing. Dubai can afford the best of the best, but where Indian brands are concerned, it's a nascent. They still need to be exposed more, and then of course they'll buy the best. And also they're so close to India, so they come and buy the very formal clothes in India.
Yeah, of course. And tell me something that, you're completing 30 years as a designer now. So how does it feel? How has it evolved, the design fashion scene over the years?
When Abu and me started, we were one of the very few ones who were there, and today there are hundreds and thousands of people aspiring to be designers.
Tell me, and forget aspiring to be designers, tell me about those household wifey designers, who suddenly decide one fine morning that they want to become designers. And
When Abu and me started, we used to ghost design. Ghost designing in those days, there would be rich bored housewives whose husband would say, okay, now here's a bit of money, go and indulge yourself. And they'd hire people like us to design collections for them, which they would sell under their brand. It would not be under Abu Sundeep Khosla. But within 1 year of meeting, we actually launched our first brand, which was Mata Hari by Abu Sundeep Khosla. And then shortly after that, Jashan came along. And then after that, Abu Sundeep Khosla came and stayed.
But now you're doing so many different things also. You're designing hotels, you're designing homes, you're designing a lot of stuff. So you're even designing weddings, aren't you?
Yes.
So why are you expanding so much?
We're expanding because that's the call of the day. If you have to survive in this market which is so competitive, you have to do various things. And actually, because none of the Indian design, apart from one or two brands which are backed financially by institutions, nobody else is backed. So literally we have to do everything that comes our way.
But tell me something like, are you doing it out of necessity, or is it something that you enjoy doing?
Homes we love doing. Weddings we do one or two in a year, and we love doing them because it gives you a creativity, a new high. Also, it helps you expand your mind, because sometimes doing clothes all the time can become a little boring. So it takes you stagnant out of it, and you get back to being excited.
But tell me, weddings, on what basis? What is the criteria on which you select a wedding? Do people come to you and they tell you, okay, we want you, Abu Jani and Sundeep Khosla, to do our wedding? Or is it some criteria? Do you do some particular wedding?
It has to be a carte blanche. For Abu Jani and Sundeep Khosla, has to be a carte blanche. You want to.
So there's no budget as such. There's no budget.
Everything has a budget in life today.
Yeah, but still.
Everything's on a budget,
it has to be a very elaborate budget.
It has to be slightly more elaborate, I suppose.
Yeah. So tell me about hotels. Hotels are a different ballgame altogether.
Hotels, we want to do hotels desperately. We want to do a boutique hotel desperately. Haven't got down to it, but we are talking to people at the moment.
And restaurants?
Restaurants, we're talking to people. It's all in the pipeline. Nothing's happened.
Okay, again, this is part of your strategy, is it?
It's a part of expanding the brand further, and also, hotels and restaurants give you so much opportunity to show your creativity in a different manner altogether.
And that's what I'm saying. It's a different ballgame altogether, isn't it? And then again, the budgets are not so limited. They can play around with money.
Actually, international restaurants spend a huge amount of money when they do up restaurants. India is still not the case as yet. People are not spending that kind of money to do up restaurants. But food is a very big thing, especially in Dubai. If you look at Dubai food is a huge thing. In the West, food is a huge thing. And really opening up concept restaurants, concept decor restaurants, ambience rated restaurants are really the order of the day.
And then tell me something, who, as a fashion designer, which is your core business, you must have had a muse, say about 30 years ago. Who was your muse at that time? Who were you looking at and designing and thinking, I want this person to wear my clothes?
Actually, it's very strange. Everybody that we've met in our life has been through our clothes. Mm-hmm. So when we first started this brand called Mata Hari, the first person to walk in was Dimple Kapadia.
Yeah. And she stood by you steadfastly.
And she stood by us. The next person to walk in was Jaya Bachchan. Mm-hmm. She stood by us. And that's been an association. They are like family to us. And we can do anything for them. And the same, likewise, they do anything for us. So they have been our inspiration and our muse to start with.
And apart from that, now as times change and you move on to the younger girls.
Shweta Bachchan Nanda is a great, also is wonderful. She's evolved beautifully. She's a young girl who's grown in front of us. And now, of course, the ultimate muse is Sonam Kapoor.
Okay.
Because whatever she wears is just golden. And she's got the carriage, and with Ria behind her, they're a magical team.
So you feel that she represents the...
She's the best. I would say she's the number one fashionista in India. Because you can put her in anything and she carries her out well.
Okay, tell me something. What is your signature? Your signature must have evolved down the years. It was not really very trendy. It was always classic, wasn't it?
It's always classic. We are always about wearing clothes 15 years later. Rita Mehta's got something of ours which she wore 25 years ago, and I wanted to make it relevant today again. And I'm asking her for the piece back because I want to redesign the collection again. And when we go to weddings, when you go to events, you see people wearing old clothes and it's coming and saying, I'm wearing something about 15 years ago.
That is the sign of a good designer, isn't it? You never go out of fashion.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's true.
You never go out of fashion because people can still wear and people can still come and tell you proudly 20 years later that, oh, this is what I bought from you 20 years earlier, isn't it?
We've been blessed. All I can say, we've been blessed. Yeah.
So how do you divide your work, the two of you?
We disagree to agree.
Okay.
And we both do the same things. And the creative process is a long process. So literally before it hits the shops, it's been the idea is born almost sometimes a year ago. Sometimes it takes 2 years before it actually hits the shop. But design development is something that Abu and me are constantly at, And then we decide how many ranges to release every year. And from there we take it off.
But what do you think of today's fashion? What do you think? Because I personally feel that fashion is fashion, but it's lost that importance which, fashion used to be very important at one point of time, But today, everybody's doing their own thing basically. And then again, they are doing things which are very similar to each other. Like women generally, when you see them at parties also, their clothes look very similar. The whole silhouette looks similar. And one is wearing something and the next one is wearing the same thing again the next day, So tell me about fashion. How has it evolved now? What is the fashion scene in India right now?
India, the fashion scene is actually bursting at its seams. There are too many designers, too few people, and like you said earlier, that yes, the what's happening is that there's not enough discretion amongst clients to know what the good from the bad.
Correct.
So a lot of the bad is also getting pushed along with the great. So you have some
honestly, like I criticize, and I feel there's a lot of that, and in which you find say 1 or 2 or 3 pieces which could be called as good, or 1 piece which could be called as great, So I don't think there's that much good work happening because there's a lot of, like you said, there are more designers than there are people to buy their clothes, Like even with the particular designers, Bollywood designers, they come and ask me, Jawahar, what did you feel about my collection? And I would point out these pieces that, okay, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, this is good. The rest is, I didn't think much of it, So as a designer, how do you think it's going? Like, what is it that motivates you now to, what do you want to do basically?
Our competition is ourselves. We have to better ourselves every year. We have to do something better, something newer, something better. And we've been often being criticized that we have not a story to tell during our fashion show. No, we tell many stories during our fashion shows. It's almost comprised of 7 different lines which are completely away from each other. It's not we are following one silhouette, going through and through and through. Your mind is a minefield of ideas.
Of course, and being a creative person.
And then both of us at it, it gets even better. And there are some things that are our favorites. Like white is something that we always will do. It's something that belongs to us and we can own it. Chicken curry is something that we can own because we've revived it. We've put it onto a platform of a different level. And today people wear chicken to the weddings.
Come in.
Yeah.
Jawahar. Somebody's waiting. TV's waiting.
Okay, then I'm done. It's okay. Thank you so much, Sundeep.
Thank you so
nice
much,
meeting you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Wonderful talking to you.
Bye. Yeah, because...
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
How you cutting?